Hello, hi, welcome once again to M5's English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well, let's learn English together. And hello to all of you out there. Welcome to today's lesson. I hope you're all sitting comfortably, relaxed in a comfy chair, with a cup of coffee and a few chocolate biscuits in case you feel a little bit hungry. Okay, well, this is day 2 of week 29. Crikey! Eh? Yes, crikey! Yes, this is week 29. And if that wasn't impressive enough, then try this on for size. Day 2 of week 29 means that this is our 142nd lesson. 142! Now that's a large number, isn't it? Yes, 142 is a very impressive number. But, as usual, there's no time to waste. We've got more revision to think about. All this week, we're looking back on what we learned in weeks 16 to 20. So, without further delay, with no more shilly-shallying, let's get down to the business of the day. Are you ready? Ready to jump into the swirling mists of time? Ready to fall back in time to somewhere between week 16 and week 20? You are? Well then, let's jump. Let's fall into the wonderful world of prepositions from week 17. Great! Now, what other prepositions did we learn? Well, we learned some prepositions of place in Doreen's bedroom. In, on, under, and next to. Then we learned a synonym for next to, beside. Beside was part of the group of 7 new prepositions of place that we learned. The other 6 were between, in front of, and its opposite, behind. Then we learned the preposition of place opposite. And then we learned above and below. Below is like under, but we normally use under if something is covering something else. Now, after the new prepositions of place, we learned some prepositions of movement, didn't we? We learned 3 prepositions of movement: into, out of, and off. Great! Now, hang on to your trousers, because we're going to learn some more prepositions of movement. Ladies and gents, girls and boys, cats, monkeys, anacondas and octopuses, feast your eyes on these new prepositions of movement. Up, down, under and over. This is up. And the opposite of up is down. This is down. Now, those 2 were easy. What about under and over? Well, this is under and this is over. So, we can say that we walked up the stairs and then we walked down the stairs. We can say, I broke my leg when I fell down the stairs. We can say that the dog jumped over the cat, and we can say that I walked under a ladder. Gods of English make their own luck, remember? Now, one thing is very interesting. Under. We can use under as a preposition of place. My t-shirt is under my jumper. The cat is under the bed. But we can also use under as a preposition of movement. The mouse ran under the bed. I walked under 3 ladders this morning. When I run to the statue on Gellert Hill, I run up the hill and then I run down the hill. To get to Gellert Hill, I run over Szabadság híd. When Pishti flies a helicopter, he flies over the city. When Pishti flies a plane, he flies over the city. When the pilots fly in Budapest, they fly under the bridges. When you go from Astoria to Őrsvezetér, the metro starts underground. Then, after travelling under the ground, it comes out of the ground and travels overground. The metro sometimes travels under the ground and sometimes travels over the ground. Planes and helicopters fly over the city. Submarines move under the water. When the 100 meters swimming race started, the swimmers dived under the water. When we played football this afternoon, I kicked the ball over the fence. Now the ball is in my neighbour's garden. Great! And now, let's have a quick look at something else we saw a few weeks ago. Guess what? It's more prepositions! Most of what I said wasn't new, but there were a few new words there, weren't there? Well, okay, let's think about those new words. The first one we heard was towards. Now, towards is very similar to, but there's a big difference. This is to, and this is towards. So, can you see the difference? That's right. When we use the preposition of movement to, it shows that we know where the destination is. We know where I or you or it is going. We know where the final destination is. So we often see to used with travel. This train goes to Székesfehérvár, for example. Before we catch a train to Miskolc, we can ask, does this train go to Miskolc? If I send a letter, I put the address on the front of the envelope. This is to help the postman. When he looks at the letter, he knows where it's going to. He knows the destination. Now, look again at the picture for towards. Can you see the difference? That's right. When we use towards, we know the general direction, but we don't know the destination. We can say that the train is moving towards Székesfehérvár, but it's not going to Székesfehérvár. The train is not going to stop at Székesfehérvár, it's going to continue. In the same way, when we watch where a plane is flying, we can say the plane is flying towards Paris. We don't know where the plane's destination is. We don't know if the plane is going to Paris. Maybe the plane is going to London and it's just flying in the direction of Paris. Okay, good. Now, what other new vocabulary did we hear? Well, we heard two other new words, along and across. Has anyone got any ideas about those two? No? Well, let me show you. This is along and this is across. Can you see the difference? Here they are together. So, when we use the preposition of movement along, we're talking about following the road or path or street. When we use the preposition of movement across, we're talking about not following the road, path or street. Now we're talking about crossing the road, path or street, moving from one side to the other side. If I say that I swam along the river, then we know that I was following the way that the river went. If I say that I swam across the river from Buda to Pest, then we know that I crossed the river, moving from one side to the other. Okay, great. Now, what else did we hear that was new? Well, there was a new word near the basilica. We ran past the basilica. Okay, so what does past mean? Well, have a look at this picture. This is past. So, that's past. I walked past the cinema, the hotel, and the factory. When Evie and I were running, we ran past the basilica. So the preposition of movement past is very similar to another preposition we know, isn't it? That's right. Think about the preposition of place in front of. Well, the preposition of movement past is the same idea, but this time with movement, not position. Now, listen again as I tell you about where we normally go running. When we go running, first we leave the flat. We go out of the front door. Then we lock the door and walk down the stairs to the ground floor. We open the door of the house and go out of the house. We run to the end of the street. At the end of the street, we turn left. We run to the end of this street, past a nice building, and turn right. Then we run along the road to Szabadság híd. The road goes past the Bárna. We run across Szabadság híd and turn left at the end of Szabadság híd. We run to Petőfi híd. When we get to Petőfi híd, we run under the bridge to the stairs. We run up the stairs and then we run over Petőfi híd. We cross the Danube again, this time from Buda to Pest. On the other side of the Danube, we run down the stairs and then we run past the Hév station at Boráros tér to the Palace of the Arts. We run up the stairs, over the Hév line, and then down the stairs. Then we run back up the stairs, back over the Hév line, and back down the stairs again. Then we run back to Petőfi híd. We run under Petőfi híd, through Nehru Park, and then back to our house. When we get back to our house, we walk up the stairs to the second floor and go into the flat. Then we sit down. There was a new preposition of movement in there as well, wasn't there? Did you spot it? That's right, through. Well, let's have a look at through. This is through. So, we say through with sentences like, a man walked through the room. A bird flew into the room through a window. Through means moving in one side and out the other. But we can also use through when a hole is made. The bullet from the gun went through his hat. Now, here's another example of through. Just as Mike and Rick and Neil are sitting at the table, getting ready to eat, Viv comes into the room, through the wall. Good. It's good to end on a high note. A high note like Vivian crashing through the wall onto the table. Great. Just don't try this at home or your mum will kill you. Okay, well, that's all the time we've got for today's revision. We're out of time. And so, yes, it's time to say goodbye. Goodbye? Right then, have fun, eat your dinner, enjoy yourselves, and remember two things. One, you can revisit all of our lessons at m5tv.hu. And two, don't forget to brush your teeth before you go to bed. Okay, folks, that's all from us here in the studio, for today at least. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place.
you in a comfy chair, and us here in the studio. See you later. Bye.